Welcome back once again. Now let's start with the next question here. In the xy plane, line T passes through the points 0, 9 and 1, 17. Which equation defines line T? They are asking you to create an equation for the line which passing through the points. So when we talk about equation of a line, you should keep it in mind that we have to make it in the form y equals to mx plus b, where m represents the slope and b represents y-intercept. In short, you have to find out the slope and y-intercept by using these coordinates. We know how to find out the slope. We know that slope equals to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So when the coordinate points are given, you can make use of this. So if you assign this pair of points as x1 y1 and these pair of points can be x2 y2, don't name it as x2 x1 or y2 y1. First value always x, second is always y. Then substitute it. Y2 is going to be 17 minus 9, that is y1, divided by x2, it's going to be 1 minus x1 is going to be 0. So what are we going to get? 17 minus 9 is equal to 8 divided by 1, which is going to be 8. Okay, so the slope of the line, what I supposed to find it is 8. So you can see that which option has a slope to be 8. So I can see option D is the only one which is the slope to be 8. So I go with option D. Okay, so that's how you can find. So what would be your equation then? So y equals to, if you replace m value with 8 in this, then it turns to be 8x plus b. So these are all not necessary to write it in the exam. As long you got the answer, select it, move next. And about y-intercept, see, when the value of x is 0, y-intercept is 9. So b value itself is representing 9. As long there is no need of doing it, because there is only one option to choose slope as 8. A total of 364 paper straws of equal length were used to construct two types of polygons, triangles and rectangles. The triangles and rectangles were constructed so that no two polygons had a common side. The equation 3x plus 4y is equal to 364 represents this situation where x is the number of triangles constructed and y is the number of rectangle constructed. What is the best interpretation of x comma y equal to 24 comma 73 in this context? So they are asking us what is the meaning of this. As you can see that x comma y equal to 24 comma 73, meaning x value here it is 24 and y value here it is 73. As they clearly told us, x is representing the number of triangles and y is representing the number of rectangles, we can say, because they are constructing the two types. So what is the best interpretation? I should say that if there are 24 triangles have been constructed, then there must be 73 rectangles should be constructed. So which matches with the option? Option A says if 24 triangles were constructed, then 73 rectangles were constructed. Makes sense. So we go with option A itself. If you have any difficulty to check with other options, you can try. Here they are saying if 24 triangles were constructed, then 73 paper straws were used, which is wrong. As they clearly said, there are total 364 paper straws. So B goes out of it. If 73 triangles were constructed, because y value here it is 73 and x value is 24, so definitely the triangles has three sides, three sides, that y should represent rectangle because rectangle has four sides. And here they are saying 73 triangles, mean they are talking about opposite in number of sides, which is wrong. Then if 73 triangles were constructed, again which is wrong, 24 paper straws were used. So make sense with option A. So if you want to choose right away after understanding, that's well and good. If you have any confusion, you can check out with all the options and they can choose the right one. Okay, so that's how it is gonna work. The equation y equal to 0.1x models the relationship between the number of different pieces of music a certain pianist practices y during an x minute practice session. How many pieces did the pianist practices if the session lasts 30 minutes. So this is equation as representing y number of different types of music when a pianist is practicing for x number of minutes, and this is what the equation they are following. For 30 minutes, how many different? You simply need to replace x with 30, 0.1 times 30, what are you gonna get, which is equal to 3. So in 30 minutes a pianist can practice 3 different types of musics. So we go with option B. Line K intersects the y-axis at point 0, -6 and passes through the points 2, 2. If the point 20, W lies on the line K, what is the value of W? So what they are trying to say here, suppose if I just represent it in terms of graph for better understanding. So they are trying to tell us is the line K which is passing through through the point where the y-intercept is 0, -6. This will be the y-intercept, I can say, and then it is passing through the point. Let's take x is 2, y is 2, 2, 2, and another point is going to be 20, W. So the line is something passing through it. I'm just representing roughly, okay. So here if I am saying that these coordinate points are 2, 2 and this coordinate point will be 20, W, then question is what is the value of W? Now how do we gonna do that? First you can find out the slope of the line by using the coordinate points. As you see, y is -6, x is gonna be 0. So by knowing the slope, and you can find out the unknown value. So it's gonna be 0, -6. While finding the slope, let me use these two coordinate points because I already know them. I can take this one as x1, this coordinate as y1, x2, then y2. So we know slope is gonna be y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Now substitute their values. Slope is gonna be y2, which is gonna be 2, minus y1 is gonna be -6, divided by x2 is gonna be 2 minus 0, that is 2 minus of -6, that become +6. 2 plus 6 is gonna be 8, divided by 2 minus 0 is gonna be 2. So that gives me value here it as 4. So I got a slope as 4. Now by knowing this slope value, so we got it as m equals to 4. By knowing the slope value, you can again rewrite the equation with any pair of coordinate points, whichever you can choose. So let me say, because as long these points are lying on the same line, their slope should be same. Now let me rewrite that equation again. If I am considering this point as x2, y2, let me make this point as x1, y1 and use the same formula. Now as we already know the value of slope, which is 4, you can write it as 4 equal to, that is m equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. In our case, y2 value is gonna be 2, this is what I am taking, minus y1 which is gonna be w, divided by x2, it's gonna be 2, minus x1 is gonna be 20. So 2 minus 20. So you can rearrange it. Let me continue here. So 4 equal to 2 minus w divided by 20. 2 minus 20 is gonna be -18. You can cross multiply and then rearrange, or you can just take a help of Desmos. Rather than doing all this, when you are setting up an equation here itself, take the help of Desmos, you'll be getting the answer. Type that expression as it is in the Desmos and get the value of w. Just you need to replace w with x. As we know, graphing calculator works only in terms of variable x and y. So type it, that is 4 equal to backslash, so that is like I'm writing the division, 2 minus x divided by 2 minus 20. So what is the value of w you're gonna get? That is x you're gonna get. Check it out on the graph and see what you're gonna get. Zoom in, zoom out, whichever you like, need to see this line. So what this line is representing? 74. So this line is representing it as x value is 74. So the unknown, which is the w value, what we are finding here, it is gonna be 74, and that's how you're gonna find out. So first you have to find out the slope, then make use of that slope again to find out the unknown x or y, because this line is representing collinear points and we know that the slope of the collinear points are equal, so we are making use of that, and you can find out value of w here equal to 74, and which is they also given us the same thing. But if you see the way how they have been explaining, yeah, it's a similar, and finally they are getting it as w as 74.